both sides of the conversation, family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in, so let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation, so we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name-calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome, everybody, to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Thursday, so you all know what that means. We're going to have another educational Thursday where we will continue to intentionally educate our community and bring information and resources to our community that sometimes our community don't get. We have a phenomenal group of presenters tonight. They've been here before. You guys seen them on some previous financial literacy presentations that they did for community. So looking forward to tonight's presentation. With that being said, we're going to get through our community announcements, and then we're going to introduce our guest for tonight. First of all, I just want to say, thank you for all of the community, for the things that just been going on. A lot of things are happening in our community. Just continue to just do the work, keep pressing through. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of things happening out there, and our community is just being resilient, pushing through, and doing the work. So just want to thank our community organizations and just kind of appreciate, in these troubled times, community is still grinding, working together, doing some phenomenal things to impact the community. I got a lot of feedback from last Tuesday's Hidden Gem segment. What a phenomenal segment that was. Very epic. Rodney in the theater and Cole Tenderloin, all the phenomenal things that they're doing. Great show. We're going to continue to keep bringing that energy and keep bringing those type of folks to this platform to make sure that our community get the resources, information. So thank you all who chimed in and reached out and was appreciative of what was going on Tuesday. It was definitely a powerful show. So if you didn't get to check it out, go back to our YouTube channel and check out last Tuesday Hidden Gem segment. Powerful segment. With that being said, we'll jump into a couple of announcements. Today, there has been sweeping reforms happening here in California. Governor Newsom signed several bills that would crack down on law enforcement and hold accountability and for misconduct and different things of that nature, especially with the use of force, death, or injury. The measures have impacted a number of things that, I kind of agree with on some of this. One of the things that will increase the age for police officers from 18 to 21. And that's allowing them to also take their badges away for any excessive force or any dishonesty or any racial bias. So that's pretty good. The leverage that is nice to see that happening here in California. As you all know, this week, they announced that Congress cannot come up with a police brutality bill at the Senate level. Sad, all of the marching, all of the protests, all of the commitments from both sides that was going to come together and pass a police brutality bill, and it just fell through the cracks. But nice to see California stepping up and trying to put some of those enforcement in there. So Governor Newsom is making that happen. So you guys will start seeing that. So they're going to be raising the age and doing some things to crack down and hold law enforcement accountable. Also, Governor Newsom put out a $3 billion bill for homelessness and mental health. And those resources should start coming to communities soon. So hopefully our communities will be impacted with these services. As you all know, I am an advocate here for mental health. This homeless situation is getting just out of hand, and we need some support. So hopefully some of these organizations could get out there, do the work, impact these communities, as our people need mental health and housing. There's like the top two things on our list that needs to be done. So great to see some of the resources starting to roll out to help impact community. It is needed. So I'm looking forward to see what that looks like, and hopefully we'll be able to partner and work with some of these organizations to make sure that we get these services and training to our community and awareness. A lot of it is awareness and education. So looking forward to see what that looks like, and we'll keep you all abreast of what's going on as it comes down. Also, important stuff in the news, the NAVIT Loan Center. A lot of you all know about the federal student loan. They are no longer servicing the federal student loans, which is leaving about 6 million student loan borrowers waiting to match with new lenders. In addition, the government payment the payment pause that they have put up ends February 2022. So please make sure that all you guys who have federal student loans, keep your stubs and all information on your loan, as that organization will be selling your information or transferring your information to other financial organizations. So please keep it up, because if you already paid a certain amount and you don't have the paperwork and they transfer your information up and they say you haven't paid nothing, please keep the records because they are switching over, so they won't be no longer in business. And a lot of those financial advisors that they might be tuning in with are saying they're encouraging the borrowers to keep all your eyes on all your records and all your loans. Very, very important stuff. Make sure all your loan balances and interest rates, you have that stuff written down so that you are locked in. That's very, very important plan. And then for people who put out hardships and different things for a loan, please keep that information so that when these new corporations take over those loans, you're not impacted, because a lot of times our community are, especially when we don't have the paperwork, and we would hate to see people put back in the hole that they already was trying to dig out of. So very, very important stuff. With that being said, community events. These are the points with all the stuff that's going on in the community. October is Black Panther History Month. From October 1st to October 31st, there's going to be a number of Black Panther Party events happening all across the country, as well as here as the Bay Area. They are celebrating their 55th anniversary. There's going to be a number of events they're going to have some celebratory events. They're going to have some art galleries. They're going to have some tours, some photo exhibits at a number of the Black Panther Party locations. We're going to put that information up in the chats to get it out for people who want to log onto their website and get more information. And we are honored here at both sides of the conversation. Y'all know I'm all power to the people. We are being blessed because the Black Panther Party will be here October 17th on Sunday, and they're going to have their anniversary here on both sides of the conversation with me, with the community, and they're going to talk about the things that they've been doing for the last 55 years, how they impacted the Black community, how they impacted the country, the world, with the work that they've been doing. So I'm excited. I am happy that they're going to be coming on this platform. It is an honor, and you all know it's all power to the people for me. So it's just nice to see our legacy keepers coming back on, blessing this platform. And they've been here several times. They've done several presentations with us to help educate our community on health and some of the things that's impacting our community with sickle cell and different things of that nature. So I'm excited. October 17th, we'll be having the Black Panther Party here, blessing the community on both sides of the conversation. We are honored. So looking forward to that event. Also, the Indian Basin Tech Hub is happening for everybody that need Wi-Fi. You need a place to go get some kind of technology information. APRI is going to be out there at Indian Basin. They got laptops, free high-speed Wi-Fi. They out there every Monday through Friday. Go see my guy, Kurt Grimes, and the rest of the team, Chica. They always out there blessing the community. It's at the Indian Basin shorelines. 100 Point Boulevard at Halls, right behind West Point, right behind Harbor Road, right there by Bob's Market. You just go down there to the park. You can't miss it. They have a lot of things that's going on. We'll put their information in the chat as well. They're doing resume writing. They're doing tech stuff, teaching people how to use computers, a number of things that they're doing to help impact the community. So want to give a huge shout out to Chica, Kurt, and the APRI family. They are doing some phenomenal things for our community. So I just want to give them a huge shout out as well. With that being said, since we talked about earlier the homeless crisis and issues, this Saturday, I will be out there by both sides of the conversation team. We will be out with the City Eats. You guys know the first Saturday of every month, we go out and we feed the community. We usually do anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 meals. We go and bless the community. If you would like to come out and volunteer, please come out this Saturday at 10 a.m., 164 6th Street between Howard and Mission. We'll be there at the City Team Ministry with the City Eats. We are still looking for more volunteers, and we are looking for people to bring water donation. The weather is getting warm, so you know it's always a need for water. We go through water every event, so we're looking for more people to donate. So even if you don't have time to help prepare the meals or distribute the meals, if you have it in your heart or you want to stop by, drop off some cases of water, we will definitely appreciate it. If you need any more information about the events or our upcoming events with the City Eats, please go to info@thecityeats.org, and I'll get that information on the screen as we start going through tonight's presentation. Very, very a powerful event, man, to bless the people, especially right now in these times of need. Also, the City Eats will be having their community partners and volunteer appreciation day. So all of the people who came out in the past, donated water, please come out on Sunday, October 3rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 428 11th Street. Please go to info@thecityeats if you would like to come out and be there. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make that event because we have a important conversation this Sunday. We have some powerful folks that's going to come on and talk about the homelessness crisis in our city, as well as the substance abuse. We got some powerful guests. You guys don't want to miss this conversation this Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, Rafiki House, in collaboration with a number of organizations, the Pop-Up Village, will be here this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 4, I believe. They'll be at 1201 Mendale at 100% College Prep. They've been doing these events all summer, once a month. They will have the prenatal pop-up. This is a family event. This event is catered to women who are pregnant with resources and food and different health people and different things, but it's also a community event. They're going to have health and wellness folks out there, massages. They're going to have testing, different things happening at the event. If you want more information, please go to the popupvillage.org. Again, it'll be this Saturday. They'll be at 1201 Mendale at 100% College Prep. Also, if you're looking for vaccination, there's a number of vaccination sites across the city. Rafiki House, Shug Smith, the rest of them, 1800 Oakdale at the City College building there. They'll be giving vaccination shots this Saturday and Sunday. I believe it's from 10 to 5, but we'll get that information on the screen. Please, all these events, all these things that we're talking about, go to our social media handles. All the flyers are there. Go log on at our both sides of the conversation, Instagram, Facebook group or page, and you'll see that information, or at our both sides of the conversation LinkedIn. Another event that's coming up, very, very important event, cool event. The East Oakland Collective, they're going to have a bike and ride creek cleanup Saturday, October the 9th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. starting at Liberation Park in Oakland at 11 a.m. They're going to have a group bike ride to San Leandro Creek. They're going to clean up the creek. They're going to party. They're going to have a little party at the Martin Luther King Jr. Regional Park, and they'll have some resources there as well. They'll have some games, music, and food at the end of the cleanup. Very, very powerful organization. Today, they blessed about 200 community members with food and things like that. They are doing some phenomenal work. So I want to give a huge shout out to the East Oakland Collective. Y'all know here at both sides of the conversation, we love our people. We don't care what city you in, what you doing. If you impacting our people, we want to know about it. And we'll be out there partner up with East Oakland Collective very soon on a couple of events. We're penciling some stuff in, and we're going to be out there to help support our people as well as keep our communities clean. We must do that. This is our cities. These are our neighborhoods, and we got to make them look good so that we can live good and feel good in our community. The new Roots Theater Festival, y'all heard Brother Rodney on Tuesday. They are gearing up, getting ready. October 16th and 17th. please come out to San Francisco from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Bravo Theater Center at 2781 24th Street in San Francisco. You want to see some Black theater? You want to see some talented Black folks who doing work in theater? Please come out and check out that event. We'll be there, both sides of the conversation. They was here Tuesday night talking about the work they did. They did a phenomenal presentation today, and y'all go see some good stuff, man. Brother Rodney and them is talented. So looking for that. Please check out the New Roots Theater Festival. We'll put the information up on the chats as well. And then the City Administrator Small Business Summit is happening. It is hosted by the San Francisco Public Health Foundation, October 5th at 9:30 a.m. and then October 6th at 9 a.m. Learn how to do business with the city and county of San Francisco for local and small business suppliers. It's a virtual event. There's a registration, and we'll get that information out as well as we'll get it out to the community. Very, very important stuff. If you want to do business with the city and county of San Francisco, you're an entrepreneur, small business, and you want to get in and get some of those resources to help build capacity in your business, great opportunity to come do some of the work here in San Francisco. With that being said, both sides of the conversation announcements, we are happy to announce. It's been a long time coming, y'all. This Friday, tomorrow morning, when you wake up, our Both Sides of the Conversation newsletter will be going out. If you would like to be on our email server, or if you're an organization or a business and you want to promote your businesses and your events that you have going on, please sign up for our Both Sides of the Conversation newsletter. It will be launching tomorrow. We already have a large email contact, but if you want to be a part of it, go to our website, subscribe for our newsletter. We'll keep you up to date with what we're doing, some of the things that we have upcoming, some of the local events, some of the community events, some of the things that we're trying to do. We got a fundraising campaign that's going to kick off. We're going to be doing some things, community. So if you want to be a part of this, y'all know the Both Sides of the Conversation movement. Y'all know how we impact the community and people. You want to keep up what's going on, please subscribe to our newsletter, and we'll keep you up to date every day what's going on here. And you all know things are changing every day. We are doing some phenomenal things to impact our community. So don't get left behind. Sign up so you can keep up with the information coming out with Both Sides of the Conversation. With that being said, this Sunday, as I said earlier, we will have a Sunday conversation. We are talking about homelessness, and we're talking about substance abuse. This Sunday, phenomenal conversation at 2 p.m. Please join us. This is an important conversation, as we know homelessness and substance abuse is impacting the Black and brown community across this country. Please be a part of it. Use our live chat on our YouTube. Ask questions. This is going to be a great conversation, talking about harm reduction, a number of things that's impacting how people become homeless in the city, the drug abuse, and some of the programs out there. Great conversation this Sunday. And then next Tuesday, as you all know, every Tuesday we have a Hidden Gem segment where we will continue to highlight our Black and brown businesses, as well as those community leaders that do positive things to impact our community. It is some great stuff. And then before we get started, there's a couple of Sunday conversations. We are still looking for guests. We're going to have on October 10th, a breast cancer awareness conversation. As you all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to have some phenomenal healthcare folks, some people from the community, and we're trying to reach out to some of those survivors to talk about breast cancer. As we know in the Black community, this breast cancer has taken out a lot of our Black women. Very important health conversation. It's just going to be phenomenal. And then on 10/17, we'll have the Black Panthers 55th anniversary. And then we'll have a domestic violence conversation on 10/24. Very important conversation. Domestic Violence Awareness Month is in October as well. So we'll be having some conversations around that. As we know, this is impacting our community, especially in this time of COVID. People are just mentally not there, and things are happening in our homes, and it's affecting us. We see the domestic violence spreading into our community through our young people. So this is a very important conversation we're going to have. And then the last Sunday of the month, we're going to talk about microaggressions in the workplace. As we all know, there are so many things happening in the workplace every day, especially to our Black and brown family members and community. So we want to have that conversation to figure out some tools and tips, how to handle it, how to deal with it, and things of that nature. And we got some more exciting news coming out. We have some partnerships that we're going to be working with Rafiki House, Department of Public Health, We're going to be doing some phenomenal things coming up here in the future to impact and educate our community when we're talking about health, not just COVID, but when we talk about the things in our community that sometimes we don't talk about: HIV, cancer, obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, the things that impact our community, substance abuse. We're going to have some powerful conversations coming up. Please stay tuned. Both sides of the conversation. We moving. It's going to be lit. We're going to have some things going on. So check us out. With that being said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and close my mouth now. We got all our community announcements. We're going to go ahead and jump into today's segment. We're going to call up our guest today, Miss Sandy and her team. Miss Sandy is not here tonight, but you know when you have a team, they always show up. We got Miss Mazetta Jones, who is here tonight leading the pack. We got Brother Ken, he is back, and we have Sister Laura coming on tonight to educate our community. They're going to be talking about the mindset and wealth and why that matters. How do we pivot? How do we start changing our thinking and our mindset about money? So I'm looking forward to hearing tonight's conversation. While they're introducing themselves, we'll go ahead and start running some of the events and information up on the screen. So with that being said, hello team, happy to have you here. Looking forward to hearing tonight's Educational Thursday. And Mazetta, you can take it off and introduce everybody, and then we'll get started. Just let me know when you're ready to pull up the PowerPoint and we'll start going through it.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Mazetta Jones. You know, this is my third time coming on both sides of the conversation. And so I really just want to thank John Henry for this platform. Did you hear that list? It took like 10 minutes. So there's a lot of things going on. So everybody, stay tuned. So I want to introduce the team. We have Ken Cordier, who's going to be presenting also tonight. And then we have Laura Howe. She's also presenting tonight. And so I'm super excited. You know, when somebody's down and someone's not able to be here, we just have to pivot. So tonight our topic is about wealth mindset and shifting. We have to shift and change our mind and do some different things, okay? Pull up the PowerPoint. All right, and so here's our picture. Go to the next slide. So, developing a growth mindset. You know, honestly, when I see this slide, what comes to mind is a lot of times we put so much negativity into our minds, and that holds us back. So this PowerPoint says simply, instead of saying, I'm not good at this, say, what am I missing? I give up. I'll use a different strategy. So when I talk to my student, I'm also a teacher. And, you know, the power, the Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue. And that means we have the power to change our narrative. We have the power to change our future. That's simply what it means. Most of the time, we always think negative, and because we think negative, we bring about negativity. But if you just shift your mind and you start changing whatever that negative thought is into a positive thought, things change. And that's all this saying. So I want you guys to take a picture of this slide. This is both sides of the conversation. It means to be interactive. It means that you talk to us. You put stuff on the chat because we want to hear your feedback. So I want you to speak positivity into existence. It wasn't until I shifted my mind, until I made a change, that I was able to do some different things. Because once upon a time, I struggled. And when I made a decision and when I changed my belief system, that's when everything else changed. Next slide. So tonight we're going to talk about 4 things. You're building wealth options. We have income protection, which Laura is going to present. We have our retirement options, and Ken is going to present. We have our children's life plans. That's what I am going to present. And then I'm going to also talk about business ownership. But the focus of everything is shifting your mind, shifting your thoughts, and shifting how you look at different things.
Okay, thank you.
Next slide. Laura will now present.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm Laura Rosa. Just curious, do you have a protection on your car? If yes, what about your income? How do you do to protect your income if something happens to you today? Tonight, we're going to talk about income protection. Before we dive into it, I'll have to properly present myself. I'm Laura Rosa. I'm a licensed professional and I'm originally from Cameroon. That's in Africa. I moved in this country in 2012. By the way, French is my first language, so pardon me if you hear some word in French. So I'm married and I'm a mother of three little kids, 8, 6, and 2. I joined this business to have enough time to spend with my family and also being present at my kid activities. Next slide, please. So before I share my story, I want us to take a couple of seconds to read this slide. 1 in 4 cancer survivor is going broke fighting to stay alive. And millennial cancer survivors are at higher risk for death and work-related physical and mental impairment after their treatment. I don't know, when I read this every time, I think, wow, this is really bad. And usually you will see people, they are sick, but they don't feel they don't feel the sickness pain. All the pain they feel is money. They are on the hospital bed, they're thinking about how to pay their bills. If they don't have their income protected, that worry can go ahead and kill them. So I'll share my story. I had a friend. He was about same age like me. He was a father of a little beautiful girl. Couple of years ago, he was diagnosed with a stage 4 liver cancer, and some of his organs were failing. The doctor told him he had only a couple of months to live. That was back in 2018. So his only wish was to go home to Cameroon and die in his parents' I'm so sorry if I'm emotional. So, couple of friends set up a GoFundMe in order to realize his dream. So they were able to raise about 5,000, which was only enough to send him home. His wife couldn't go with him because there were not enough money. After 2 months, he passed away. May his soul rest in peace. So, why am I using this story? If my friend had money or if he protected his income, he wouldn't have gone GoFundMe to raise 5,000 to send him home. He died without leaving anything for the baby girl he had, nothing for the wife. People out there, you guys who are listening tonight, you might witness that story, something like this in your life, or you know someone that went through this type of story. But my question is, when you hear about this type of stuff, what do you do? What do you do to in order to prevent yourself the same situation happens to you or to your family? My friend's situation made me think a lot. If I thought, if something happens to me, what will happen to my kids? What will happen to my family? Or if I was sick and still alive, not working, what will happen to our bills? So these are some type of question people don't really ask and don't really ask. Our goal is tonight is to show you how to protect your income. In our company, our goal is to defund GoFundMe by helping average family out there to protect their income and their income. So our mission is no family left behind. My friend and his family were left behind by financial institution because they didn't have enough money to be helped, to get help. We are here to help regular people like you and I to better protect our income, at the same time protect our family for financial stresses. Together, we can bankrupt GoFundMe if we get better protection. People don't really think about income protection until the worst happen. Next slide, please. And next one. They don't really think about income protection until the worst happen. This is real statistic. This was from last year. Over 14 million widows filed bankrupt. Why? Because the breadwinner didn't protect his income. They find themselves with no money, even no money for funeral. I talk about my friend, he died in Cameroon. But for those immigrants who die here and they are wishing to bury them in their country, what happened? Do they have a minimum of $50,000 to fly their body out of the US? Or do they have a minimum of $400,000 to replace their income when they are no more? This question I'm asking, most of us will not be able to answer this because we haven't think about it. So, to protect our income, we have to do that through life insurance. And here I'm talking about two types of life insurance. The regular type of life insurance, which is you have to die to pass money to your family. And the other type of life insurance is life insurance with living benefit. It means with this type of life insurance, you can use the money when you're still alive. Earlier on, I talked about you are sick and you don't have money to pay your bills. If you have this type of protection, the insurance company will give you some money to pay your bill or to live on. And when you pass away, you pass the leftover money to your beneficiary, and that is tax-free. Now that we know how to protect our income, please do not wait. We have to take action right now. We have to get information. We have to find help. You can contact Musetta, Mr. Kenneth, or me, or if you don't, you can also contact John for us to help you. Don't wait. The time is right now. You have to take action right now. Now, I would like to present the next speaker, Mr. Kenneth, the wise man, as we call him on our platform. He is full of wisdom and knowledge. So he's going to talk about retirement. To you, Mr. Ken.
Thank you, Laura. I want to take just 1 second to kind of repeat what Laura said. There's two types of insurance. One insurance pays you out after you die. There's another kind of insurance that pays you money to keep you alive. Think about that. Now I want to share you my story because I've been on both sides of that equation. I've had a family loved one that she died of cancer, my baby sister. And after her passing, her husband was literally bankrupt because he just about spent every penny that they had trying to pay the doctor bills and the care bills that it would take trying to find a cure to cure the cancer that my sister had, and just didn't have enough money or the right treatment for to do this. So it's extremely important just to help you understand what Laura was saying to you. Now is the time to think about this, not later. My story is, and I want to tell you my story first before I go into the way to protect your retirement. I started out in 1970. I'm one of the young black men at that time that got in on the construction trade and affirmative action. At one time, it was very difficult for black and brown young men to get any kind of a skilled job, union skilled job. But I was in that group that they were hiring a lot of us in the 1970s and early 70s because they had passed a bill, that affirmative action bill that stipulated that they need to start hiring minorities. So I was hired, and I got a good job, a skilled job. I learned, once you learn a skill, you can always earn money if you have skill. And anything that requires going and learning, going to school, going to trade school, whatever, and you develop a skill that's marketable, you can earn a living. At one time, it was the privileged group that got these good jobs. But now, if you apply yourself, a lot of us can get these kind of jobs. But it's not how much money you make, it's how much of the money you make that you keep. And if you don't understand how money works, if you don't know how to manage your money, if you don't recognize key factors in loans and borrowing money and spending money and growing money and protecting money, guess what? You'll always be at the bottom rung of the ladder. You have to learn the skills of managing your money, protecting your money, and growing your money at exponential pace so that you can leave money for generations or for an inheritance. Now, next slide, please. I'm going to first talk about taxes. Taxes are necessary. We have to pay taxes in order to get the infrastructure and things that we use daily to be able to get about. So I'm not saying that taxes are bad, but I'm just saying we should pay our fair share and nothing more. But the poorer you are, the less money you earn, the more taxes you will pay. That's just a fact. There's three types of taxation. Tax now, savings accounts, certificate deposits, CDs, mutual funds. And we've asked this question before. Of all the folks that's on this channel right now, on this platform and listen to us talk, how many of you have a savings account? How many of you have CD accounts, have money into CDs? How many of you have mutual funds? Now, a lot of these people who have these kind of accounts think they're doing okay and they're in a good place. Well, let me just give you a few facts. Savings accounts, that's the bank. Now listen to this concept. You put your money in the bank, in your savings account, because you say the bank is safe. They will protect my money, so it's safe. Well, is it really safe? The bank has insurance on your money up to $250,000. Anything more than that, too bad. If something happens, the bank will pay you $250 if you have that. And if you have more than that, well, you can kiss that goodbye. CDs, certificate of deposit. I know of people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars in CDs. And yes, it's safe. And it's level. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down, it's level. But if you're earning interest on it that's below the rate of inflation, guess what? You're losing money because your money is not growing fast enough to get past the rate of inflation. So your money is, if you're earning 2% and the rate and the inflation rate is 5% or 4% or 6%, then you're 4% short. So every dollar is devalued by 4%. Do the math. That's how much you're losing on each dollar. Tax later. Now that's variable accounts. Variable accounts is, guess what? 401ks. Most of you have 401ks for retirement plan. If you have a retirement plan, that's what you're getting, a 401k. Or you're getting an IRA. Or you're getting a fixed annuities. Or you buy saving bonds. They're all tied to the stock market. The stock market is called a variable account. Look up the definition of variable. That means it's volatile. It's unstable. It's up and it's down. It's up and it's down. You never know what's going to happen. And I'm sure a lot of you, let's say a lot of you in your 40s on up, you all remember 2008 when we had that crash and everybody's homes were losing money, like everyone was losing money like crazy. The sad part was that you had people who was about to retire when 2008 hit, and they lost over 55% of their retirement fund because of the crashing of the stock market. And so they couldn't retire because they had lost 50% of the money that they thought what they're going to retire on. So they had to keep working to try and make the money back. And everyone is under the misconception that when you lose money, you just can make it back. If you have enough time, you can make it back. No. Warren Buffett, 2 rules of money. Never lose money, and never forget rule number 1. If you lose money, you've lost that money, and you will never get it back. Now stop for a minute and think about that. When you lose it, it's lost, it's gone. Now you can grow money back, but if you had not lost that, whatever you lost, and then your money started growing again, then you add that to your gains again, and that's what you really should have. You have to think about it because it's misleading. They can tell you half truths. Like there's a simple little trick. They say, okay, if you have $100 and the stock market goes down 100%, how much money do you have? Zero. But say, okay, you don't lose 100%. Let's say it went down just 10%. 10% of 100 is what? Now, the stock market gets back on track and it goes up. Goes up 100%. So how much money do you have now? I bet you a lot of you say, well, it went up 100%, so I got my $100. No, you didn't. 10 from 100 leaves what? 90. 100% of 90 is what? You're missing that 10%. So you didn't make 100%. In order to get 100%, you have to make 110 just to get back to where you were. In other words, just get back where you started off. Because you really didn't gain. You just got back to where you started off. Now, the third example is tax advantage. Love tax advantage. You know why I love tax advantage? Because all the people who understand money and know money, the Rockefellers, the Gates, the Bezos, all those rich and wealthy people, they understand money. And so they put their monies in places where their money is protected, where it grows exponentially, where you never lose money on the principal. And guess what? If it's structured correctly, it's almost tax-free. Think about that. You see on the screen here, you see names and you see phone numbers going by. Write down those phone numbers. Laura, Musetta, myself, Kenneth, and Cindy. Write those numbers down. And if you can't remember, call John Henry, because this is one of the greatest platforms that we have going. Both sides of the conversation. This is an outstanding program for our community. We're giving you knowledge. But having knowledge and not knowing what to do with the knowledge is a shame. Next slide, please. Here's a picture of me. This is my beautiful daughter, Shayla, my son, Kenneth, and my daughter, Chandrea. Shayla is a graduate from UC Berkeley. Chandrea is a graduate from Yale University. And my son, Kenneth, he went to Davis. If you plan correctly, we can do those things. Our kids are intelligent human beings, but we have to have faith and trust in them. And how do you show faith and trust in your children? By doing the right thing. Learn how to manage your money. Learn how to protect your income. Learn how to grow your money at an exponential rate and put it in an account that is protected and is tax advantage. If you do those things, you can send your kid to any college that you want to send them to. And you really don't even have to worry about if they get a scholarship. Because if you plan, you'll be successful. People don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. Next slide. Wise words. In scripture, and this is a reading that I took to heart. Where much is given, much is expected. If you're a parent and you have children, it's expected of you to do the best that you can for your children. If you've been blessed, then it's expected of you, when John Henry's talk about helping the homeless, help the homeless. If you're talking about helping any people in need, any crisis that help the human race, do your share. You don't have to give a fortune. Just do your share. If 5 million people gave $5, do the math. It's not about how much, it's about how many. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Now that I've had fun giving this talk, because it's great to be alive. And it's great to be given the opportunity to talk to people of color. I appreciate this platform. I appreciate John Henry. I appreciate the two young ladies that I'm working with because they're dynamos. These are very sharp young ladies, and I know that their families, regardless of what happens, whatever hardship comes their way, they're ready. They're prepared. And that's why we're here. We're here to help you get ready. We're here to help you get prepared. We're here to help you, and it's all no charge. What we show you, what we teach you, there's no charge. Because if you're successful, we're successful. It's that simple. So God bless, and I'll see you at the next teachings. Now, Musetta, my sister, it's all yours.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I need you guys to give me just 1 minute. I was listening and I forgot to plug my laptop. So just give me 1 minute. I appreciate it. So this is about to die. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't plug it in. Okay, that's better. Thank you so much. So again, my name is Musetta Jones, and I'm going to talk to you about Children's Life Plan. But before I do that, I'm just going to introduce you to my family. You know, this picture was taken back in 2020. And right before the pandemic hit, my son's high school basketball team went to the playoffs. And so this is us supporting him. There's a few children missing because they're away in college. But needless to say, you know, Ken talked about if you use some of these plans, that you will have enough money to choose whichever, your children can choose whichever college they can go to. Well, unfortunately, no one talked to my family. Our company mission is no family left behind. Now, I've been able to send my children to college, but it could have been much easier, and I could have put them in a better situation and not have any student loans if we had this information that I'm going to share with you this evening. So in the picture there's 5 children. There are 4 children that have been to college. One is in high school. This is her last year. And next year, they'll be the 5th child. One is already graduated, and hopefully one will come out this year in December. And then the next one next year. And Khalil, he just started. So I honestly wish someone had to talk to me about this, because everyone said, what was your plan? What did you do? How are you putting all these kids in college? And I want you to know, on a wing and a prayer. That's the truth. You know, my children growing up, they got some scholarships, but that still just wasn't enough. And, you know, when they first went to school, I just told the Lord, listen, I don't want to have to take out any loans myself, because I'm still paying my own personal student loans. And I know the impact it has. And so I didn't want to take out additional loans. And so we were able to get some help and some support. And then I did Uber and I did various things. But Uber, if anybody, you know, type in the chat if you drive for Uber or Lyft, that's hard work. That's a long hours and it's hard work. And that's what I had to do. So I was working 2 jobs, doing summer school and doing a million different things just so I can simply put them through school, to pay outright in addition to their loans, in addition to their scholarships. What if I told you there was a way to not just set your children up for college, but to set them up for a life plan? Because that's what wealthy people do. Our topic today, we are talking about different plans, but we're really talking about shifting our minds and shifting how we do things. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she used to say to me, "Mommy, if we're so rich, because we live in a house, so children think, you have a house, that means you must be rich." She says, "How come I don't wear designer clothes? How come I don't have designer shoes?" And I said, "Sweetie, the reason why you don't have that and some of your friends do is because we're saving money for something different. And so we can't afford to pay $1 million for those different things." And so I want to talk to you about shifting. So if you really pay attention, we want to make sure we're putting our children in the position so that they are able to make the choices and decisions and to choose the life that they want to live. Next slide, please.
At your door.
So here's just a reality check, because most people truly don't honestly know this. So a financial literacy buck is being passed from parents to teachers and then back to parents again. I'll say that again. The financial literacy buck is being passed from the parents, because the parents want the teachers to teach our children financial literacy, but then it's being passed back to parents. So parents assume that schools are teaching financial literacy, but schools, by and large, are simply not teaching it. I am a teacher, and I know that most students don't learn this in school. So teachers, just like parents, don't feel comfortable teaching it. Now, there's this guy, his name is John Clough. The name of his program is called Jumpstart. And I'm a PE teacher. And so this guy has gone around educating students so that they can eat healthy and exercise. What we're doing in this financial space is we're doing the same thing. We are trying to jumpstart you. We are trying to shift your minds so that you get this information and so that you guys can make some different changes in your life so that you can put your children in a better position. The best time to do it was 20 years ago when your child was first born. But if you're like me and you didn't do that, then the next best time is right now. That's an African proverb. It's also a Chinese saying. So even if you haven't started, you just need to get started. Shifting means action. Lord talked about don't wait, take action. Brother Ken talked about don't wait, take action. Next slide, please. So we are talking about no family left behind. On our platform, we do 3 things. We teach you on money rules. We teach you and show you your options. And then we direct you to the right providers. Now, when you look on the side, you see 2 families, Family A and Family B. How many of you know a lot of people who are in Family A? I do. But I also know some people who are in Family B as well. And the biggest difference between Family A and Family B is not just the income, it's really where their mind is at. Brother Ken talked about this. He talked about maximizing tax advantages. That was that tax advantage, that account that wealthy individuals are using. Now, we can be angry with the 1%ers because they have all the wealth, or we can decide to shift our minds and just do what they're doing. It's okay to be a copycat as long as you're following the right cat. And so many of us are just not simply following the right cat. And it's not our fault. It's not your fault because it was passed on from generation to generation into generation. And so our goal is so that we change those things and we change your minds and we begin to change your legacy. First, by doing number 1, that income protection. Make sure that you are protecting your family. Now, once you're protected your family, two, let's look at our retirement. Because if you are not already 59 and a half, any plan that you have, you can't access it or utilize it anyway. So you want to make sure you're protecting your family. And then number two, after you're protecting your family, go ahead and make sure you are protecting your retirement. And then that third thing, we're going to make sure we're protecting our children and putting our children in the right proper place so that they can grow up and be successful. And once they see you, the parents, shifting your minds, guess what happens? It just trickles down. Most people say, I can show you better than I can tell you. So if you start showing your children something different, that's going to put them in a situation to do something different. With no family left behind. We don't want to leave the parents behind. We don't want to leave our children behind. And we don't want to leave our children's children behind. Next slide, please. So when you look at this, I want you to know that everything that we're talking about is written in books. Now, if you don't like to read, because I was one of those, I didn't really like to read, but guess what? When I got in this, I realized that the information that they're not telling us that so many people may know about is honestly in books. We have the retirement miracle, money, wealth, life insurance. Did you know that banks own life insurance? Why would a bank own life insurance? Because they know the power of life insurance. Do you know that Disney, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all of those businesses got started by using the cash value that they grew in their life insurance? Well, that's how the children's policy works as well. That's how you would be able to grow your money tax-free. I'll say that again, grow your money tax-free to help pay for your children's college. And if you don't want to send them to college and you simply just want them to have an opportunity to start a business, if they wanted to, if you wanted to help them go ahead and put a down payment on a house instead of paying for an apartment, this gives you the ability to do that. But guess what? You have to start reading. So I want you to take a picture of these books. So the first book I want you to read is Money, Wealth, Life Insurance. Now the second book I want you to read is The Power of Zero. And the third book would be The Retirement Miracle, in that order. But if you look, they have books that's talking about the wealthy physician. Next slide, please.
Well, we can't hit you. Your mic is muted.
Wait, was it muted the whole time?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's all right. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Wait, how did you know to switch the slides?
You said switch the slides and then your mic went on.
Oh, okay. So you heard everything else. Okay. You know, that's a blooper. I apologize. I must have hit a button on my computer. So here's our Smith family legacy. You see my husband and I, Dwayne Smith. So I'm Uzetta Jones Smith. And in this picture, we always want to make sure we take care of my mama because she is the elder. She's the dawn of the family. All right. And my daughter had just graduated from college. So she was the first one. She graduated from Dillard. And right behind her is my son. That's Dwayne Jr. He is currently at North Carolina A&T. And he will graduate in December. And behind them is Khalil. This is his first year. He is at Bethune-Cookman in Florida. The youngest, is still in high school, and hopefully next year she will be going away to school as well. And there's one more who unfortunately wasn't here for the family photo. He's still in Florida, and he went to FAMU. So when I talk about legacy, our children are our future. And as a teacher, my goal is to always make sure that I'm educating the next generation, not just my family, but I talk to all the students like that because I want to make sure I'm setting them on the next path. And by doing financial literacy, I'm educating you, the parents, so that I can make sure you can help your child and put them on the right path. Each one, teach one. And as Dr. Marshall always says, the more you know, the more you owe. So everybody who's hearing us on this platform, you owe it to somebody else to share this particular both sides of the conversation to somebody else. It's up to you to subscribe so that you are staying on this platform and getting all this information because it's truly valuable. Don't hold it for yourself. Let's go to the next slide. I'm going to have to change hats. So this is Sandy's PowerPoint, and this is what she was going to do. And so I'm just going to quickly share what she was going to talk about. So as we've talked about during this particular show, is that our company motto is the 5 F's. And in this order: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. And on this platform, it gives you the opportunity to have freedom of time. Now, when I say freedom of time, it doesn't necessarily mean that once you start this business, all of a sudden you have so much time, because it takes time to build a business. But when you think about it, you've given 20, 10, 20, 30, 40 years of your life at your job. Has it ever given you freedom of time? And so when you think about that, when you start a business, you will have to give up some time so that you can get some free time. And that's what our company allows you to do. It gives you the opportunity to have business ownership. Next slide, please. So when you look at this slide, what do you see? In our company, there are 4 ways to produce income. So when I first looked at this slide, I was like, wow. Most of the people that I know is on the right side of the slide. Most people I know are employees and they have a job. So they trade time for money. And then when I go to the nail salon and the hair salon and other businesses, restaurants, many of them consider themselves a business owner, but the truth of the matter is they're just self-employed. And what self-employed means is that you still utilize your time for money. And the reason that is because if you don't go to work, and 2020 taught us that when they shut down the nail salons and they shut down the hair salons, and those persons weren't able to go to their job, they no longer were able to make money. Yes, they did own a business, they did have a business, but the business required them to be there in order to make money. Now, if you look at the very top, it says 5% of the wealth. 95% of the population in the United States shares 5% of the wealth. And that's simply why your boss always tries to keep people down, is because it's a dog eat dog world. And if you become too good at your job, you may be looking for the boss's position. So nobody wants to lose their position. It kind of reminds me of, I can't think of the name of the movie, but Sanaa Lathan was in it. Love and Basketball. I believe that's the name of it. And one of the seniors said, don't ever let a freshman take your spot. Don't let a freshman take your spot. And in the real world, a boss is like, I'm not going to let my employee take my spot. Because if they do too good of a job, they do make me look good, but somebody else may notice it and they may have my job. So we move into this other side. I got my sides wrong. The left side, the right side, 95% of the wealth is shared by 5% of the population. Now, I don't know about you, but I want to figure out, how do I get on the right side? How do I become a business owner? How do I become an investor? You know where you can find this information at? It came out of a book. And so the name of that book, most people have heard it, with Robert Kiyosaki, is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What we do, we show you how to become a business owner. The difference between a business owner and an employee is that a business owner owns a system. McDonald's has a system. Welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order? No matter what country you go to, McDonald's has a system. Once you become a business owner and you get good at that, we show you how to become an investor. Because the owners of McDonald's are investors. They own different pieces of McDonald's. So every time McDonald's makes money, they make money. And so the goal is to move from an employee to a business owner, from a business owner to an investor. That's our goal. That's what we're here to talk about. That's what I want to share, that opportunity is available. Next slide. And so here we go. We're talking about what the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and middle class do not. Think about that. What the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and the middle class do not. I'm here to share with you. We want to make sure that you know what they know. Your child knows what their child knows. And then that's leveling the playing fields. Now, everybody still has the freedom of choice, because remember, we're talking about shifting. Shifting means taking action. So just because they know this information, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to utilize it. So knowledge is power, but only if you apply the knowledge. Next slide. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. And right now, you guys are at the best time, because as you see, COVID has changed so many things. So many things have changed, and so many things will never be the same. How do you feel about being required to be vaccinated in order to keep your job? Some people might agree with it, but some people don't. What about all those people who don't, who are going to lose their jobs? What do they have in place? Because so many companies and corporations seem to be moving in that direction. Here's the solution. So in 1946, it says baby food came into play. Now, 78 million people were born during post-World War II. Why? Because the men went off to war. The women were home alone. When the men came back, they were thirsty. They were ready to get married. They were ready to start a family. And many people had children. Also, they needed people to work the fields. The more children you had, that means the more support that you had for the family to go ahead and take care of the family business. Most people had farms. So there was a lot of chores to do on the farm. So they had baby after baby after baby. And then their children did the same thing. And so what happened? Gerber came out, invented baby food. That industry blew up. Those children got a little bit older. Those kids wanted to play with toys. Toys R Us came out. And that industry, Toys R Us, became very wealthy. And then we have fast food, because now women started going to work. And so they were not just staying at home, and they went to work. And because they did that, they were tired when they got home. And sometimes they didn't have enough time to cook. And the fast food industry came into play. And that business is now killing our children. It's the death of our people. Needless to say, those children grew up. They graduated high school, and then they needed a car. And then real estate. They now want to buy a house. And retirement. Well, today, 2021, this industry right here is going to be the next biggest industry. And you have the opportunity to get it at the very beginning, because it hasn't blown up yet. Timing is everything. All of these jobs, the government may shut down. What are people going to do? Could you afford a second time of not working? Did you save enough money from the time work opened up in 2020 to now? Do you have enough saved up? I want you to think about it. Shift your mind. Now, I'm not saying quit your job. I'm simply saying timing is everything. And now's the best time to start a part-time on a part-time basis, so that you can get in. So eventually you can fire your boss and do this full-time if you so choose. Many of the baby boomers who are in our industry now are soon to retire. We're looking for we have a shortfall of 400,000 advisors in the United States. Could this be you? Could this be somebody you know? Do you know somebody who goes to work every day, hates their job, and is looking for a change? We have the answer. Shift your minds. Next slide. So last but not least, we are developing the next generation of financial advisors. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help you with your income protection. We're here to help you with retirement. We're here to help you with your children's future. And last but not least, we're here to help you start a business. So you move from the employee mindset to a business mindset. That's what we're here for. That's my time. John Henry, I want to thank you. I want to thank Laura, and I want to thank Ken for everything. And I want to thank you as well, Sandy, for putting us on this platform and for utilizing your team and putting us in this position. Truly appreciate it.
All right. Phenomenal presentation. Glad to have you all here tonight. I'm excited. There's so many talking points. I could probably talk all night, but I ain't gonna do it because they don't want to hear me. I talk too much. But you know, when you talked about following and all that, I love to hear that because we always talking about leadership. What does it look like? And sometimes in the community, people get comfortable and they're not moving, right? And then you get all of the negativity, you get the bad energy, and people talking. I say I'm a trendsetter. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I don't care about what everybody else doing. You know, you get people that's always calling. Well, I see them doing what you try to do. Let them do it. I want my people to get the information. If it's gonna take me to set the fire to get people to move in the community, then that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care who doing it, how many people doing it. Everybody got their lane of how they gonna do it. When you're blessed, when you're highly favored, what's for you is for you, and I believe that. Eagles fly with eagles, and Tweety birds fly with Tweety birds. I know I'm an eagle, so I soar real high. You get what I'm saying? And again, this is great information, educating our community, changing the mindset. We have to do it. We are in critical times. We are in a crisis in this country. The way we've been doing things in our community, it just doesn't work. So tonight, y'all been blessed with the important information to change your mindset. We got to work together. We got to be strategic, but we have to be intentional and educating our community. And this is what this is about. There's millions of people who do this information. Nobody's better than nobody, right? It's about get the information to the people. Don't be calling me talking about, oh, they trying to do what you doing over there. They stealing your ideas. I don't care about that. Bless the people. I'm trying to set a fire across this nation. Educate our people. We got too many people in our community climbing the educational ladder, climbing the corporate ladder, and they ain't coming back giving our people nothing. So I don't care. Let me be the trendsetter to make these people move. We trying to move the people. I'm looking for the movers and shakers out there. If you're a mover and shaker, holla at me, man. Both sides of the conversation, we trying to move and shake. I ain't got time to make everything nice for people. I ain't got time to play the degree game and here and there. I'm trying to move people. My people in trouble right now. I ain't got time to play all these games. So it is great to have you all here again to really talk about what we need to be doing as we get into this new future of money, because it's changing. I keep watching the treasury every day. We get closer and closer to cryptocurrency. The coins is going out. I know y'all people see it when you go to the store. They ask you to bring the exact chain. They are slowly decirculating the coins and the paper dollars out of circulation. Everything is going to be on a digital card, a credit card, Bitcoin, different way. We got to start educating our people. See, we get left behind, right? So they figure the loopholes, the games, how to move the money while we sitting here arguing, while we sitting here doing the electric slide. You see what I'm saying? While we out there fighting each other, competing with each other, these other folks over here figuring out how to build their wealth up so that they can leave generational wealth. We ain't talking about making money here. We talking about generational wealth. It's a difference. Setting your family up to be impacted for the next generation and generations on. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to give people the information. Okay. I just lost my mom last week, so I know the importance firsthand. When you lose a life, if you don't have the proper paperwork and information in place and the proper insurances, a family could be in total financial ruin. Okay, it is very important that our community gets this information. What Mazetta is talking about, what Ken's talking about, it's no game. We can't be sitting here depending on GoFundMe. Yes, it's nice to have GoFundMe and community love and support each other. You know what I'm saying? But we got to be intentional in our community. We got to stop playing around. We got to save our money. Okay, I'm tired of us looking rich but living poor. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what we got to stop in the Black community. So these folks is coming on here tonight to tell you how to be strategic with your money, with your planning, with your future. We got to start doing this. Okay, community? So this was a great conversation tonight. We talking about tax-free, setting yourself up. Don't get caught in the 401k bundle. Open up, ask questions, reach out to these folks so you can learn some new things, how to leverage your money and make your money make money for you. See, that's the game we didn't learn, how to make our money make money for us. We get money, we go to the mall, we go here, we travel, all these things. But when it comes down to the real financial structures, we are hurting. Okay, I just seen a statistic the other day come out, Black community, 50% poverty. In debt, we all close to paycheck, no savings. You know what I mean? It's like we got to start thinking and be thinking smart. This COVID has taught us. People are losing. Every time I look on my timeline, every time I'm on my social media, somebody else is losing their life. Okay, tomorrow ain't promised. But again, if you have children, if you have family members and people that you love about, and you want to make sure that they get a head start, these are the type of people you want to connect with. Make sure you got your living trust. Make sure you got your financial plans in place. You get what I'm saying? We have to do this stuff, community. Estate planning is real, okay? And I'm reaching out to some more lawyers so that we can get them to come on and talk about estate planning. What happens? People catching COVID. Who makes that decision to pull the plug for you? You get what I'm saying? You might think your daughter is strong enough, or your son's strong enough, or your mom is strong enough to make that decision. You got to think about all of this stuff, right? So this is great information, especially on the investment end, and I like the approach. But one of the things is I'm not here to push fear, okay? I don't want to fear people into what's going on. I just want to intentionally educate our people to do what's right and get there and invest, okay? We got to start utilizing the Roths. We got to start using these tax-free models to help us leverage. Okay, the reason why these rich, like Ken said, get wealthy because they leverage the tax system. Okay, they don't get penalized. We got everything we do is 401k, 401, and everything is tax deferred, right? And then you end up paying more taxes at the end. We in California, taxes always gonna keep going up. right? But nobody teaches us, hey, let's pay that Roth now. Let's pay the taxes now so that on the back end, you good. Whatever the tax rate is, you can walk away with some money and it doesn't impact your overall financials, right? Because as you start getting up into retirement age, you got to think about those lump sums that come back to hit us, right? And with those Roths, you can protect yourself and leverage yourself, right? You might want to pay off your house or pay off a car. If you got all tax-free accounts, you're going to get hit double, right? But you want those Roths where you can pay the taxes up front, walk away, and that money is not applied to your overall income. Social Security is going away, family. Okay, community out there, we can't depend on Social Security. You need 7 sources of income to make it. Community, if you got one source of income, you losing. Okay, you need housing, you need insurance, you need a business. You get what I'm saying? You have to have investments. Like, there's a lot of things. That's just 4 of them. You got to have another business, plus whatever retirement you have. And that might not be nothing. The way these companies is going, they running away with the money anyway. Okay? But we got to be seriously thinking about other ways to make money. I heard Mazetta say it. I heard Laura say it. It's 80 hours, 40 hours in a week. Okay? You got to figure out how to take 20 to 40, 20 to 25 hours of your own time to build other sources of income. We got to change our mindset, community. We got to get out of the renter mindset. We have to get out of the co-op mindset. Black folks in America, we have to think about ownership. And it starts with saving. It starts with investing in these tactics and these strategies that these phenomenal folks came here tonight to give you that information. If you want to learn more, reach out to Mazetta. Reach out to Ken. Reach out to Lord. Information is running across the screen. This is what our community needs. This is the sauce. This is the information that sometimes people don't get. It's a lot of work, but you have to stop. Like you said, you have to change your mindset at some point. It's like anything else. It's insanity if you keep doing the same thing and get the same results. In our community, we do the same thing over and over and over. Our young people are dependent on us. When I'm calling out leadership in our community, I'm talking about you as well. Be intentional. You heard Mazetta's conversation about preparing our young people for college. In the Black community, we have to stop waiting on athletic scholarships, academic scholarships. We as the family heads, the fathers, the mothers, the grandfathers, the aunties, the uncles of the family, we have to set up financial means for our young people. We can't wait. When our kids is born, we have to start investing in them now. Setting up 529, setting up college accounts, putting money away. We can't just sit here and wait on systems and scholarships to take us to that level, right? We got some talented young people. We got some phenomenal young people out there. We have to believe in our young people when they come out the womb. We can't sit there and say we don't know if they're going to make it to college or we just deal with it down the line. We have to start being intentional in the Black community. When we're building a family, we have to sit down and be intentional. We can't just keep having kids and going off a wing and a prayer. You see what that's getting us. Look where we at. Look at our communities. We are suffering because we're not being intentional. We have to get intentional in our community, and it starts with educational presentations like this. Getting people to think out the normal realms. When you have that family, when you have that child, thinking about the future, and it starts with these conversations, making sure that our community knows what to do, how to set up the right accounts, how to set up the right retirement accounts, how to set up the ultimate businesses to help bring in that income to give us financial prosperity. That's what we need in our community. Everything that's infecting us in our community right now is all due to the lack of economical power. So what Brother Ken is talking about, you got to think. Okay, you got to start young. We got to start pumping this information into our young folks early. 16, 15, 14, 13. We got to start educating our community about finances. We got to teach our community how to invest. We have to teach the strategies, right? We don't want to get in the part where we just get money and we're not advancing ourselves and having a good time. We have to start thinking about the future. Times is going to get harder. Money's going to get tighter. Discretionary funds are getting less and less. Look at the gas out here in California, $5. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but the last time I went to the grocery store, it is expensive for groceries right now. Okay. Everything is going to start costing more. Inflation is up. The GDP is bad right now. Okay. So we got to think smarter. And that's what this conversation is about, changing your mindset about money. We got to look at money different. We got to understand interest rates. We got to understand these compound accounts when we're using credit cards, when we're taking out car loans, we're taking out house loans. We got to learn this stuff, community. You can't just go in there and sign your name on a sheet and then find out later you got a 24% interest rate. Like, we got to do some real thinking. And if you don't know and you don't have the time, why not reach out to these phenomenal folks here and talk with them, sit down, let them review your finances. I say it all the time when they come on this platform. Black folks, we have to get out of our pride. And we have to open up and be honest about our finances just as well as our mental health. We have to start becoming normal and open to have financial conversations to build generational wealth. It is hard. It is a struggle. Emergencies happen. Things happen. You could be put in a great spot at any time. You can be put in a bad position. It happens, right? You try to plan for the best, right? You try to save as much as you can, but even in them time, things happen. So again, I'm just happy and honored to have you all here again. A great presentation for community. You all been coming here, blessing our community, dropping gems. Brother Ken, powerful brother. OG giving it to you all the way we need to be got. And to our sister Laura over here, phenomenal sister. This is what I'm talking about. People talk about our people. We have some amazing people. She's from the motherland. She said her first language is French. Come on, Black folks. Don't tell me my people can't make it. We can't compete. You have history right here in our face, changing the world, changing the mindsets, changing the thinking what this so-called Black looks like, what it's all about. Loving this conversation. But with that being said, I'm going to close them out. Y'all want to say anything? I don't see a lot of questions. A lot of times when we don't see that is because the presentation was okay. People got what they needed and they okay. But if y'all have anything y'all want to say, we could go ahead and have both sides of the conversation now as people are appreciating what you all doing. And I just love to see a community out engaged. Sister Cynthia, what a sweetheart. What a blessing to our community. Love her. Love Sandy and the work that you all do. And, I'm just here to support and uplift and continue to make sure that our community get this information. So I'm just happy. But with that said, go ahead. Y'all jump in there. Okay, your mic was muted.
Okay. I just want to say this, John. This platform, this is a diamond in the rough right here, brother. This is the gateway to our people. Of course, some people, if you don't know, you don't understand, you might be a little confused. And there is a lot of distrust, simply for the fact that we're Black and we're trying to talk to people about financial literacy. And we understand that. So it's not going to stop us because we know it's necessary. And we'll come back every Thursday if we have to until we knock down and bust down that door, because we know once you learn how money works, you'll see the mistakes that we've made. And it's only because we didn't know. It's only because we didn't understand. But once you've given the knowledge, and if you don't use the knowledge, then it's insanity. But if you learn something that you don't know about, well, don't say that's too good to be true, or I've never heard that before. And maybe the people that you know never heard of this before. There's a lot of folks who've never heard of some of the products that we're talking about. That's why we're here. That's why we came. Because each and one of us that's here talking to you, we never heard of it before until we was invited to come to a meeting and see it and hear it. But when we heard it, we knew this is valuable, not only for my family, but for all of our families. We all need to know this. Now, what you do with it is up to you. But we're giving this to you for free. There's no charge. You using it, it's not, you're not giving any of that money that you put into these accounts. None of that comes our way. None of it. It's all set up according to your means, what you need, what you want, and how you want it set up. How much money you put in is how much you can afford to put in. We're not going to say, well, it's going to take this amount of money. What you can afford to put in and get started. Because you know what happens? When the power comes in and you understand how to manage money, guess what? All of a sudden, money starts coming to you. You say, oh, well, I can take this money and put it over here. I can do it this way. And when you start seeing the interest that money is earning, and if you understand what the bank is doing, the bank takes your money. The bank has no money of its own. The bank takes your money, invest your money, and earn compounded interest on your money. Get a asset insurance policy on their assets that was developed by your money, and they pay you less than 1%. Now, if you don't think something's wrong with that picture, then I don't know what to say to you. But if anyone out there heard this, and you want to know what you can do about it, we have an answer for you. We can show you how to get the bank out of the way and show you how to do what the bank is doing. That book that Musetta showed you, Money, Wealth, and Insurance, in that book, it shows you some of the largest countries in America that have insurance money on their assets. When you ask yourself, the CEOs that you hear about getting $600 million retirement plan, you say, how did they do that? The insurance policy. The companies open up an insurance policy on them and put money in that insurance policy. And when they retire 20, 30 years later, it's grown to $600 million, $500 million. That's how they do it. And we're trying to tell you that's what you need to be doing at your scale. At your scale. At what you can afford to do. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Everybody has the wrong concept of insurance. Insurance can buy, you can buy wealth. Rich people buy wealth. They have $1 million policies they open up on their newborn baby that can grow with a financial, with a accumulative part of the policy. And it grows exponentially. So when that baby grow up to be a young adult or middle-aged adult, guess what? Money is not an issue. And when you say, well, all you're talking about is money, 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 money. Well, try and live in America without money. This is a capitalist society. Whether you like it or not, you have to have money to survive in the United States of America. Other words, then you'll have to rely on someone else helping you. Not giving you the best care, but they'll give you what's ever available or whatever they think you're worth. Now, if you're okay with that, okay. But if you want to do better, listen up. Get involved. Take action. That's all we're asking.
Powerful stuff. They say if you knew better, you would do better. You just got some information to do better today, Brother Kid. But I got to ask you something. Because you said something that I'm still trying to figure out. How do we get our people to trust? So much trauma, so much damage have happened in our community. Black folks can't trust nobody, right? And then how do we fix this issue of not supporting each other? I heard Mazetta said early, if you had 30,000 people and it was $5 they gave you, the type of, funding that would come out of that, right? So I got something that I want to say to the community while y'all here, because I see trust is a big thing. And I don't know what's going on in America right now, but our people is in neutral. We have become so laid down to what's going on. Okay. I'm triggered. I've been mad all week. Somebody told me today I need to go get an anger therapist, Director Davis, and I'm gonna go get me an anger therapist. I'm a little angry kid. We don't trust each other. We don't work with each other. We don't support each other. Okay. What I just seen happen in Texas under the bridge with our Haitian brothers and sisters, I didn't see no outrage from the black folks. I don't know what's going on, kid, but I'm starting to think my people is being hypnotized or something. Because again, I'm sitting here in the Bay Area. I can't talk about across the country, that right here in the Bay Area. Okay. 30,000 black folks talking about boycott KTVF news station for the news reporter who spoke up for black folks. I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem when 30,000 black folks can ask for a boycott for Frank Somerville at KTVU News, but we got our own black folks here suffering with housing issues, homeless crisis, but we can't boycott nothing for that. I got a problem with that, kid. They say I'm angry, but I need to know from you. I need that wisdom. How do we fix this? Because I'm starting to see this slave syndrome pop back up in my community. I don't like it. And our people ain't stepping up and they ain't saying nothing. But we can go here. I see the NAACP, all these people boycott behind Frank Somerville. And I don't got nothing against Frank Somerville. You get what I'm saying? He said some powerful things to protect our black queens, but I feel like black men should be doing. You get what I'm saying? But this platform needs to be doing it, right? But when you talked about 30,000 people, I said if 30,000 people supported both sides of the conversation, we can have a conversation about all our missing black women in the community. But they won't support me, though, Ken. But we get this white man here, nothing against him, but he's a white man. 30,000 black folks. We gonna boycott KTVU. I got 50 black folks here in San Francisco housing, dealing with issues, living in rat infestation. We can't even get 100 people to show up to a community town hall. I'm angry. Director Davis, you're right. Send me a therapist because I'm angry, kid. We gotta fix it.
Black people have to realize their power.
Right.
They don't think they have power. And one man has very little power. But I think it's like 18 million black Americans in America. And everyone knows if 18 million people start thinking in the same mindset, if 18 million people shut up and just listen to what we're saying, and then tell me what you find fault with what we're saying. What do you think what we're saying is a lie? Let us know so we can address it. But you know, if every day when you look on all the news channels, when they show us, it's always something negative. You see about us being killed, or you see us about doing this, or we seeing us doing this. When you R. Kelly, they've had R. Kelly on the every day, or just all negative energy. And then you got these young brothers. I've done 20 years in the juvenile ministry, and I've talked to the young brothers in the juvenile hall. I'm talking to all the black folks who live in a fairly decent and good life. You have no idea what some of these young kids go through in their lives. Life is not easy for a lot of people. So when you see a young man or a young woman doing something crazy, you say, why would that person do that? You should ask yourself, what made them do that? What happened that they would do that? Because that's not human nature to do some of the things that they show our young people doing. But when you grow up and you're surrounded by hate, you're surrounded by violence, you're surrounded by just all the negative energy in. And then when you walk down the street, or if you run down the street, my brother, my older brother, rest his soul, he's passed. He was 14 years old, and my mother sent him to the store. And he looked like a 14-year-old. And he was just running down the street, going to the store, as young boys do. Police pulled up in their car, jumped out, and put him down on the sidewalk because there was a burglary, a robbery they got on the phone, on the call on their car, and he was running down the street. Now, they didn't think he was, but it was an opportunity for them to put fear in his heart. But what they did was put anger in his heart. They didn't put fear in his heart, they put anger in his heart because he was angry. He was afraid also because you'd be a fool not to be afraid when people with guns slam you to the ground. But it also put anger in his heart, and he carried that anger in his heart for years. We have to learn how to get over the anger. We have to learn how to start trusting each other. Read our history. Read our history. We have 39 colleges and universities and places of learning in our community. No other excellence group in this nation has that. And you know damn well the government didn't put a whole bunch of money there to get these colleges there. And there were great places for us to go and learn. Most of the congressmen, most of the senators that worked there South graduated from black colleges, universities. Mm-hmm. We're not a dumb race of people. Study history. The greatest pharaoh in Egypt looked like us. Not like Yul Brennan or the other actor. Moses was not fair-skinned and blue-eyed. Read history and learn history. We come from a very proud, very positive, very smart race of people. Anthropology says that the most advanced human shape, human body, is the black man and female. Our body is far advanced in development than all the other groups. Why is that? Because we were the first beings.
And we have a testament right here. We have our sister from the motherland, and she's talented, very smart, speaking different languages, doing phenomenal things. Don't tell me it don't work. But again, I'm angry, kid.
Don't be angry.
Out there, reach out to me because I'm angry. I am frustrated what's happening to my people. We got to get it together, black people.
Keep doing what you're doing.
And you know, you open up a whole new can of worms. Like for real, because I see it in the schools. And, you know, like Brother Ken said, really just talk to young people. Ask them questions. Don't sit there and criticize them. Get into their minds, because a lot of them don't have any positive people in their life. They don't have anybody telling them what's right. You know, they know, everybody knows right from wrong. You know right from wrong. But when somebody sits and breaks it down to you why and how that doing that wrong thing affects your life, not just today, but the next day and 2 years from now and 10 years from now, it's having a conversation. We have to talk to our young people. And we have to talk to the parents, because a lot of young people are parents. And that's what the United States sells. So Ken gave us a history lesson, but the United States sells ignorance. You know, they put it on the TV. They put it on what they allow our children to see, because you can see anything and everything. And the Bible says our people will become weaker and wiser. And what we see is weaker and wiser. They know so many things, and yet they know nothing. They know all the wrong things. And what you need to know, you just simply don't know. And that's what I talk to them about. You know, but then it's not just educating the children. You got to educate the parents, because the parents don't know. Because the line started to move. A long time ago, my grandparents and great-grandparents, they didn't even believe in credit. What the heck is that? You save your money and then you buy what you want. And now we spend money that we never even had. And we owe $1 million and don't have a job to support it, even pay for it. So every generation lost something because we wanted to be cool, we wanted to be cute, we wanted to be better, and we thought our parents were too strict. And in that strictness, we became lenient and lenient and lenient, and we are witnessing the results of that leniency. We are witnessing the results of we want to be our child's friend, we want to be friends with our child. And every other country is surpassing our people. Every country, because they come hungry. They come from true poverty. Poverty that we don't know. I've been to places where kids had the same shoes for the last 3 years. Not last month. And anybody who's in those countries, they would think our poor people are rich. So it's about educating our kids. It's about educating the adults, and you have a right to be angry. And that's why I tell everybody to join this platform so we can all be angry together, but be angry in a positive way so that we are still working together in our anger and we were bringing about the change. Because that's honestly what has to happen. We'll fight about something. And I mean, not to say that that one thing's not important, but there's a lot of big issues that we sit quiet on and don't say anything. And when that happens, it's just like, what are we fighting for?
I'm right there with you, Mazetta. All the angry people come on both sides of the conversation. I want the angry people, the movers and shakers of the community. I don't want the marchers. If you want to go out and march and protest, I don't want you. Okay? I want the movers and shakers. I want the people who's ready to boycott. Because I understand. We talking about money here tonight. Okay? The only way we impact change is we got to impact the financials. Okay? You want to see people change? People talking about we can't get a hold of this person. This people ain't calling me back. When you hold them dollars, believe me, they're going to call. They're going to pick up the phone. I need some people that's willing to take a sacrifice. I'm looking for the movers and shakers. If you ain't a mover and shaker, get out the way. Don't waste my time. You go over there and play the numbers game, play the data game. I want some people that's ready to show up and shut some stuff down and get our point in her. I'm tired of hearing black folks talking about love and hope. I don't want hope. I want action. I'm not hoping for nothing. We taking what's ours. I'm looking for people who want to take what's ours. And I ain't saying violently and I ain't saying illegally. I'm saying coming together and making sure what's ours is there. And it starts with confidence. I need confident leaders. I don't need all these people speaking for us that ain't got no confidence. I don't want to hear we'll see what happened. I'm tired of that. We already see what happened. Okay, I need movers and shakers. If you a mover and shaker out there, if you ain't afraid and you got confidence and you want to help elevate and move our people, reach out to me. If you angry, like I'm angry, and you got radical anger in you, and you ready to see some change in our community, if you ready to push the people that's in the way out the way, because that's another problem in our community. We got too many people holding on to leadership, holding on to power, that's setting our community back, going to the graveyard with all of the information, not giving our young people a fair head start. I'm looking for some elders in the community who's radical, but willing to pass the baton and get our young people to move us forward. We need some youth. We need some wisdom, but we also need to be open to release that power, that ego, because our community is hurting people. I'm looking for some radical people. But Miss Laura, do you want to say anything? We've been over talking you, Queen. What you got to say? This real Queen right here. Come on, Queen. Tell me what you got to say.
Yes, John, thank you again. What I would say is we have to shift our mindset. Our community, I know a lot of immigrants, they come where I come from, but yeah, they try, when they arrive here, they don't want to do anything. But I would say if we place our finances in the better place, we'll be able to achieve a lot, you know. So we have to change our mindset. That's all we need. Even our Black community that doesn't trust us, they have to at least do some research and do better for themselves. Thank you.
Very, very powerful. We definitely got to get the money. I always tell people As soon as we could bring that economical power to our community, we don't have to sit here and say, look what this community doing. Look what these folks. I am tired of being on these calls and everybody talking about, look what they did. Look what they got. Well, they got what they got because they organized, they working together, they uplifting each other, and they doing everything they can collaboratively. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just tired, man. I'm angry and I'm tired. And I'm sitting here watching my people go right down the toilet with this old thinking and it's slave mentality. I see it. We got to do better, Black folks. Black and brown communities, we got to come together. It's a reason why we are impacted the most. But like she said, if we change our paradigm and our thinking, we could be the most. But we got to have some people who are courageous. Too many people are afraid. And, we got to make some change in our community, man. I am tired of sitting here watching our people do nothing. We need leadership. I heard somebody say about why we can't get no talent here in the Bay Area, why we can't get no talent here and hire the talent from San Francisco. I'm going to just tell you like this. I'm not so impressed with the people that's around in San Francisco and the Bay Area. Maybe we do need to get some of our brothers from Africa, some brothers from New York, some brothers from the South to come down here who really resilient and who really radical about Black folks. I want some people who love Black folks and ready to fight for Black folks. I want to fight for my people, okay? And that's what I'm looking for. I don't care where you're from. I don't got time to worry about what state you from, what city you from, what community you from. I want some Black folks who care about Black folks who ready to come together and move our people forward. And we're going to do that in unity and stay together in solidarity. That's what I'm looking for. I am tired. But everybody talk about what we doing here. All I'm going to tell you is this. I'm not so impressed with the people that I'm seeing around here locally. So maybe we do need to change and get some other people from the South who got a little bit more fight in them. Because all I hear people around here talking about is they tired, they burnt out, all that. If you're tired and burnt out, move out the way. Let the real freedom fighters come here. The freedom train is coming. All aboard. Both sides of the conversation. Freedom train is coming. We're looking for people to jump on this freedom train. We want to free our people. We want to take the chains off our brains so that we can get the information and do the things that we need to do. And it starts with these conversations and these segments tonight. I want to thank you all for coming on. This was a phenomenal conversation, a phenomenal presentation, educating our people, changing that mindset. I think that's something that we have to continue to push that narrative of pivoting, changing our mindset, and rethinking. I've been saying this on my platform for the last 6 weeks. We have to reset in our community. Too many of us are thinking at Z. We need to start back at A, the basics, and we got to put this stuff in place. And tonight's presentation about financial literacy is where we need to start at, back at A. Let's get the basics. Let's understand the money. Let's understand economics. Let's understand compound interest. Let's understand budget, understand saving, understand tax-free, understand insurance. It all starts with baby steps. And we're going to do this as we continue to work together with community to impact our community. That is our role here, changing the narrative, bringing that hope, working with brothers like Kid, young versus the old, coming together, figuring out some of that information and wisdom and moving our young people forward. The work that Mazette is doing. Ms. Laura, teaching your kids French and different languages, opening our kids up to new ideas, new information. We have to be innovative, in our community. We have to be open to change. We have to get out of our comfort zones. And sometimes we get stuck in those comfort zones. We get used to the same old things and we don't move forward. I am tired of being in neutral. I feel like my community is standing still. I need somebody to put us in drive and let the wheels start rolling and pull us forward. It's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us, community. It's not just both sides of the conversation. It's going to take everybody to start working together, putting a little bit in to uplift them. And for you 30,000 people out there who boycotted, make sure y'all stick together and boycott for the community issues that we are dealing with every day in our community. When we talk about homelessness, when we talk about substance abuse, let's boycott and stand together on some of these things that are hurting our people. We're going to have a phenomenal conversation, you all, this Sunday. Homelessness, the drug crisis. This is going to be a great, great conversation. Please don't miss it. The presentation that they're going to put on is very phenomenal. I know community is going to have a lot of conversations, but the folks that we are having on has that in-depth knowledge. We're going to educate you. What's going on? What's the holdups? Why are our communities being impacted? And how do we fix it as a community together? It's going to take us all a lot of work. But with that being said, thank you all for coming in. I know Miss Sandy wasn't here. Shout out to her for getting this presentation here tonight. Shout out to Cynthia, my brother Maurice Rivers. I see a number of community out there, East Oakland Collective, a number of community organizations that are doing their part to impact the community, and that's what it's going to take, all of us to be the change. Thank you all for being here tonight. Brother Kid, you're a powerful brother. It's the 55th anniversary of the Black Panther Party, y'all. 55 years. All power to the people, and we're going to have them here on this platform. I am excited to be a part of this. So many community events happening. Impact is happening. We are trendsetters. We will set the tone. We will start the fires. We will walk together and uplift each other. We will bring that unity back in our community. Both sides of the conversation. We here. We ain't going away. They shaking. Every day they know. We getting closer to where we need to be. So you can take the information now, but you're not going to be able to handle it when we come, because we come in the right way. We're working together. We're collaborating. We're building up our people in our community the right way. It takes time, but we'll get there one day at a time. For all of our both sides of the conversation folks out there, please go to our website. The newsletter is coming. People have been asking. So many things going on behind the scenes. We are going to launch that newsletter this Friday, tomorrow morning. When you wake up, it's going to be stuff happening. You're going to see all our social media handles, things happening. Please register, get your name in there, get your email in there. We're trying to centralize our information so that when the community events are happening, when we have things happening, when we need people to show up, we're going to utilize our platform to start organizing, getting our people to show up when these different incidents take place in our community. We ain't just going to be marching. We're going to be boycotting. We're going to be shutting some stuff down because we want change in our community. We're tired of talking. We're tired of walking. Now it's time to hurt them in the pockets and make sure that they hear that we're doing. We're not going to stop here at both sides of the conversation. So thank you all. Thank the both sides of the conversation team. We have some of the most resilient folks that is working day and night to make sure that this platform continue to move forward so that we can continue to impact our community and be a blessing to those who sometimes may not be able to receive the blessing from folks in our community. We're going to lead by example. It's going to be rough. We ain't perfect, but we're going to do our part to make sure that our people get it, and we'll continue to connect these resources with our community. So love you all. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll see you all this Sunday, 2:00. If you want to hear some real important conversation, you better tune in this Sunday because it's going to be deep and powerful. Love you all. See you this Sunday.